Hello, everyone. Today is Christmas, and this lesson is titled, I Will There Be Light. There's going to be two lessons reviewed in lesson 87, and the lessons that are reviewed, in case you want to reference back to prior lessons, are lessons 73 and 74. The first one, lesson 73, is I Will There Be Light. I will use the power of my will today. It is not my will to grope about in darkness. In this lesson, you're reminded that everything that comes up that you see as unsettling, that you see as doubtful, as full of insecurity and fear, as full of doubt, the way you see yourself as worthless at times, the way you see others as guilty, all of that darkness is brought to the light. That's the key. To take this darkness, not to make it real, but to bring it to the light so that it could be dispelled, so that you can no longer infuse it with belief. It is not my will to grope about in darkness, fearful of shadows and afraid of things unseen and unreal. Light shall be my guide today. I will follow it wherever it leads me, and I will look only on what it shows me. This day, I will experience the peace of true perception. This day, I will experience the peace of true perception. I will there be light. And some ways in which you can work with this decision to see the light is to remind yourself, as you view what you're perceiving as darkness, what is seemingly dark, because in truth it has no reality except the reality that you've given it through your own belief in it, the power that you give it, when in fact it has no true power. Remind yourself, this cannot hide the light I will to see. This, what I'm seeing, cannot hide the light I will to see. You stand with me in the light. If you're working with someone specifically that is challenging, remind yourself that this person stands with you in the light. It's not as if you have the light and they don't. The light is in them as much as it's in you. But it is being obscured by a perception of darkness. And that's what we're dispelling. You stand with me in the light. In the light, this will look different. In the light, this will look different. Yes, it is a decision of the will, but we're constantly needed to remind ourselves that I do not need to pay attention to what I perceive as darkness, because truly, it can be dispelled by the light. Then lesson 74, there is no will but God's. So if lesson 73 was, I will there be light, and there is no will but God's, then your will is the same as God's, that there be light. I am safe today because there is no will but God's. I can become afraid only when I believe there is another will. So what engenders fear is the belief that we give in these perceptions, these appearances that seem so real. I feel awful today. I am depressed. I don't see things as they truly are. I feel as I've let others down. I feel like I'm not good enough. I'm not showing up in my best self. I wake up and I feel confused. I don't know what to do or where to go. I have no compass. I've let myself down. I feel guilty and I'm afraid of being punished. When is the shoe going to drop? Things are going well, but tomorrow things may not go well. All of these thoughts of insecurity and doubt is the perceived darkness that I'm talking about. Let them all go by bringing them to the truth, which is the light. I will attack only when I am afraid. I try to attack only when I am afraid. And only when I try to attack can I believe that my eternal safety is threatened. Today, I will recognize that all this has not occurred. All this has not occurred. If I seem a bit intense today, it's because I know the truth in this. And so do you. But for a time, we want to believe in these illusions, that we're little, that we're bound, that we're not able to be free. And now, in a day like today, a Christmas day, is a day to let this all go because they have not occurred. I am safe because there is no will but God's. I am safe because there is no will but God's. And some forms of this idea would be, let me perceive this in accordance with the will of God. So when you see these seeming misperceptions, let me perceive these in accordance with the will of God. It is God's will, you are his son. And address a specific person that's in your consciousness. John, it is God's will, you are his son, John. It is God's will, you are his daughter, Jane. And mine as well. This is part of God's will for me, however I may see it. So learn to see the distinction between how you see things and what you know of God's will, which is innocent, which is loving, which is caring, which is comforting, which is safe, which is peaceful. The kingdom of heaven is within you. The kingdom of heaven is within you, but it's being clouded by a perception that the ego has created that you believe will bring you happiness and peace, when in fact, only God's will brings happiness and peace, and that is your function. So move it all into the light. Do not bring the light to darkness, because that makes it real. Bring the darkness, the unreality of darkness, to the light so that it can be dispelled. That is lesson 87, and tomorrow will be lesson 88. Again, have a wonderful Christmas.